Yeah, now the savings rate, as you mentioned, it has been depleting and we are not doing anything. Is it a cultural problem? We are not telling the children the right thing to do, or what is it?
See, actually, financial planning itself earlier was taught through generations. You observed how your father or your grandfather, how they manage money, how they never had a
They never borrowed.
They never borrowed. They never had a problem finding needs to support even larger families. They were still able to support extended families also.
True.
They were able to educate people in the family.
The nephews, nieces, somebody died.
Who didn't have parents, who were kind of
true.
orphaned,
That is worth thinking
That
about.
was the kind of society we were. Today, people don't have money to educate a second child. Therefore, they don't have a second child.
Yes.
Because in a city, a middle class person cannot have another child because one child's education itself costs him so much that he doesn't have enough savings.
Okay.
This is principally because the earning capacity is not beating inflation. Point number one. Wherever it is beating inflation, people are expanding the spending much faster than the earnings expand. And last but not the least, people are actually soaking their savings into high cost real estate. When you buy real estate when it is low, then lesser component of your savings will get soaked in EMIs.
Okay.
Now suppose you are going to buy the real estate irrespective of where it is, the prices are in the cycle, saying that anyway I am long term, I am going to hold this forever, I need a house, anyway I have to buy now sometime, so let me buy now. At a point at which the prices are at a high, then what happens is a greater part of your soakings gets soaked in EMI.
Okay.
Your savings go there. So you are not able to find disposable income.
So what will they do if the prices are climbing like this? Should the government step in and say you can't sell houses at ridiculous prices like this? Or
No, the government.
It's a market forces.
It is market forces. People have to save themselves. That's all.
So savings should be inculcated.
You should be careful when you buy big assets.
So the same principle what affects a family, the father is earning so much money, the mother is earning so much money, and they run the family with that budget, is the same principle that we apply in the nation.
Correct. You earn X amount of money. You decide to save something and then you spend the rest. India today runs like this. You earn 100 rupees. You decide to spend 130. You end up spending 145.
Oh. So where did the 30 itself come? Forget about the 40, another 15.
Borrowing. All the savings of all of us which you put into the bank goes to the government and gets spent the other way.
Okay. And what is the fascination with gold? What does it satisfy? Is it something that will climb forever? Or is it ever going to come down?
See, gold going up in recent years is a phenomenon where people lost faith in their economies across the world.
Okay.
So, when people are very positive on their economies growing and societies, finding a lot of need for capital,
Okay.
then gold was not, it was languishing.
Okay.
Right up to the previous 2 decades, gold languished. It went negative actually in many parts of the extended cycle.
Okay.
But when the Euro crisis happened, when society started losing faith in the printing machine of their governments and the tendency to spend way in excess of...
But is it sensible? Does it do anything or is it just a perception that gold is...
No, gold basically...
Like it doesn't rot.
Until it's currency. It's currency.
Okay.
Gold is a currency. You have to accept that. It was the default currency of the world. All currencies were linked to gold.
Yes.
Because gold could be easily exchanged across the world.
Okay.
So if you have gold and gold land in any country, if it's in a simple form, you can actually cash it and take that country's currency and spend. So gold was the currency. When people lost faith in the currencies of their countries, they reverted back to gold. It's a very normal thing. Generations have done it. So bad governance.
So just hedging their bets.
Yes, bad governance takes people towards gold.
Oh.
And
so your high consumption of gold can indicate that things are not right in that country.
yeah, people are giving a thumbs down very clearly.
Yeah, because in the United States, they don't even bother with gold. They never buy gold.
But United States, a lot of buying of gold that happened after 2008.
Oh, they have also got into
Everywhere.
that.
China, United States, everywhere it happened.
Oh, so they all went back into the
A
fear
lot of
cycle.
people bought gold in different forms because they felt that it's a better way of maintaining your liquidity.
So, do you think right now with the crisis that we're going through, the government can actually locate some areas of expenditure which they can just lop off and just don't do it and therefore balance the books?
See, basically with respect to the current account deficit, there is a difference between how much you import and how much you export.
Okay.
You have $12-13 billion every month. But that is...
Million or billion?
Billion. Billion.
Okay.
That is expected to drop drastically because at these prices, many of the things which we import are not viable as businesses. Many of the
For
products
that reason, it will not be.
Demand destruction is what brings society. It's the cold shower for excessive consumption comes from demand destruction.
Okay.
You get a cold shower, you stop buying things, you stop trading in things which don't give you money. So a lot of consumption has to go down.
Okay.
And when it goes down, import will go down.
So what should people do? Every man in this country wants some help in some direction. He doesn't want to see his country going to rack and ruin. He wants it to be strong and healthy. What would be your advice to any young couple starting out their life? Listen, this is the way you should go in your life.
See, some part of your saving you have to invest in the future of your economy.
Okay.
You can't expect a foreigner to come and invest in your society to build
So
your
you
factories
are
and
actually
roads.
recommending go put money in the stock market, buy stocks, put it into industry. Is that your...
Yes, you should invest in the future. Some part of your savings you should invest in the future of your country.
No, because this is something totally, which we have never thought about. But this is a good thing what he's suggesting. Not just keep it in a bank. Go buy...
Some small component, 5-10%.
In the United States, almost everybody at some point or the other invests in the stock market because the interest rate is not enough for him to survive till the end of his
See,
life.
the problem is people never invest on a continuum in Indian stock markets. They always come in when the markets are very, very
climbing,
overpriced.
yeah.
Very overpriced. And they leave it immediately thereafter because when the correction happens, they have lost all faith.
Okay.
See, you should invest for 5-7 years. Some small part, suppose you're saving 100 rupees, you can spend 5 or 10 rupees, you can invest in your economy.
So what is the system to do that? What should an average person do? Going to the stock market is a mysterious thing. There are people waving their arms around, shouting and all like in the old days we used to see. We had no idea what they were yelling in and strange gestures with their hands.
It could be anything. You can even invest in an infrastructure bond. You can, even if you don't want to buy
What's
stocks.
your best recommendation? First thing, go put it in that. What would that be?
At this point, I think they simply go and buy the stock index, the Nifty or the Sensex.
So what is that actually? You go to the...
It's just a composite of 30 good companies or 50 good companies.
Oh, so the Nifty, whatever the value it has, you buy that much.
Yeah, they'll allow you to buy a small part of it.
One,
Even
you buy like
1,000
one.
rupees, 500 rupees you can buy. Yeah.
So, and then as it goes up and down, can you encash it?
You can.
Straight away across the
You
table.
can encash. You can keep adding small units.
So at what level would you think the government will say, okay, now you can trade it back or SEBI or what it is?
No, there's no government or anybody in this. It is traded on the stock exchanges.
Okay.
It is available in the mutual fund platform. Whatever you buy, if you want to sell, you can sell today and tomorrow morning.
So let's say this piece of paper, whatever the face value, does it have a face value on it?
Nothing, there's no piece of paper, it's all electronic.
Okay, so let's say what is it that you have? You have a piece of paper which says this is worth something?
Yeah, correct. It is a receipt.
Okay, it's like
or
a receipt.
it will go into your demat account.
Okay, so it
electronic
represents
receipt.
some value.
Yeah.
And when you check that particular day, you'll know what the value is and you either decide to sell it or you say get out.
But you need to buy for 5 to 6 years. Little. You have to keep adding.
I see.
Just the way you add any other gold, any small this thing.
So there you are, folks. You heard it from the expert. That's what you need to do. Everybody in India needs to start buying and investing in our own country, which is basically buying stocks and shares of companies and hope that they do well and then they will generate more wealth and they will export and we'll all be happy and we'll make money. So thank you, Shyam.
Thanks a lot.
Lovely having you here.